It is a very old story. In a small village in Baghdad, there lived a righteous farmer named Abdullah with his wife and his son Zaid. He had a small piece of land where he grew sugarcane. He would extract its juice and make jaggery gur from it. After that, he would take the jaggery to the city market and sell it to earn a living for his family. It was the winter season. Abdullah and his son Zaid worked hard in the fields from morning till evening. They cut sugarcane and cooked jaggery over the stove. Abdullah always took the jaggery to the market himself because he felt that his son Zaid was still young and did not yet understand the dealings and trade of the market properly. One day, Abdullah loaded his bullock cart with jaggery and set off towards the market. When he reached there, he parked the cart and began waiting for customers. After some time, a merchant passed by. Seeing the jaggery, he remembered that his wife had asked him to make sweet rice with jaggery that day. In reality, he was a very cunning and fraudulent merchant named Qasim, and he used to trap simple and innocent people in his net and rob them. He came to Abdullah and asked, "Brother, what are you selling?"
Abdullah replied happily, "Respected merchant,
"I have just prepared fresh jaggery today. If you want, I can sell it to you at a reasonable price." Qasim found Abdullah very simple and innocent. He asked, "How much will you sell the entire cart of jaggery for?" Abdullah became happy, thinking that if all the jaggery was sold to a single customer, he would not have to wait any longer. He said, "Sir, just give me 500 dirhams and take all the jaggery." Qasim took out 500 dirhams and said, "Then deliver this jaggery to my house." Abdullah also let Qasim sit on the cart and started moving towards his house. When they reached there, Abdullah said, "Respected merchant, please get the cart unloaded quickly. I have to return to the village." Hearing this, Qasim's expression changed and he said, "Which cart, brother? I have already paid you 500 dirhams for the entire cart. Now all of this is my property." Abdullah said in surprise, "But brother, I had only told you the price of the jaggery. The cart is mine." Qasim replied in a harsh tone, "I had asked for the price of the entire cart. You yourself said 500. Now you are going back on your word? People like you are not trustworthy." Abdullah folded his hands and said, "Brother, please do not do such injustice to me. Give me my cart back." Qasim called his men, who tore Abdullah's clothes, insulted him, and threw him out of the house. Abdullah, in a state of humiliation and shame, hid in the bushes outside the city all day. He feared that if anyone saw him in that condition, his respect and reputation would be ruined. When night fell, he quietly made his way back home in the dark. When Abdullah reached home, his wife and his son Zaid rushed toward him after seeing his condition. Zaid asked, "Father, how did this happen to you?" With tear-filled eyes, Abdullah told him the whole story of how that deceitful merchant took advantage of his simplicity and, for just 500 dirhams, took away his cart along with the jaggery and also humiliated him. After listening to the entire story from his father, Zaid's blood boiled with anger. In rage, he said, "Father, tomorrow I will go to the market, take revenge from that cunning man for your insult, and bring back our bullock cart." The father, seeing his son's emotions, gently tried to explain, "No, my son, that merchant is very clever and cruel. You might also get into trouble." But Zaid said with patience and determination, "Father, just tell me what he looks like. Then you will see how your son restores your honor." When Zaid did not agree, Abdullah carefully described the merchant's appearance to him. The next morning, early at dawn, Zaid borrowed a bullock cart from a neighbor. He loaded it with fresh jaggery made by his own hands and headed towards the market. He stood at the very same spot where his father had been deceived. After a short while, the same deceitful merchant Qasim arrived there. As soon as Zaid saw him from a distance, he recognized him. Seeing Zaid's innocent and sorrowful face, Qasim immediately came closer to him. Qasim asked, "My dear boy, why are you sitting so sad?" Zaid replied, "What should I tell you, uncle? Yesterday my father came to sell jaggery, but some robbers looted the jaggery along with the cart." Seeing Zaid's innocence, Qasim thought to himself, "Yesterday I fooled the father. Today it's the son's turn. He looks even more simple. This time I will get both the jaggery and the cart. Qasim came to Zaid and said, "Brother, what is in this cart?" Zaid replied gently, "Respected merchant, it contains fresh jaggery. You have never tasted such delicious jaggery before." Qasim said, "So tell me, what is the price of the entire cart?" Zaid smiled and said, "Just give me a handful of coins and the deal is yours." A greedy smile spread across Qasim's face. He thought, "Wow, this boy is even more foolish than his father. I will put a few copper coins in my hand, and the whole cart will be mine." Qasim said, "All right, brother, the deal is accepted, but I will pay you at home. Just take the cart to my house." Zaid agreed silently. His plan was going in the right direction. When they reached Qasim's house, Qasim got the cart parked inside. Then he took out some coins, clenched them in his fist, and said while extending his hand towards Zaid, "Take your handful of payment and leave the cart here." That was the deal, right? Zaid said, "Sir, the deal was for the jaggery. The cart belongs to me and my father. Kindly have only the jaggery unloaded and allow me to take the cart back." Qasim shouted, "What are you saying? You yourself said you would give the whole cart for a handful of coins. Now you are going back on your word." Zaid replied calmly and politely, "No, sir. I am selling exactly what I said. I sold you the jaggery, not the cart. The cart is my means of livelihood." Qasim gritted his teeth in anger and said, "Now if you say another word, I will humiliate you and throw you out just like your father." When Zaid heard this threat, he quietly said, "All right, sir, if that is the case, then give me that handful of coins." Qasim extended his fist full of coins towards Zaid. As soon as he brought his hand forward, Zaid firmly grabbed it and pulled out a dagger from his pocket, saying, "Listen, merchant, I am leaving my cart with you, but in return I am taking this fist with me, because the deal was not about coins, but about the fist." Qasim began to tremble. "What trick is this? Let go of my hand." Zaid said, "You took my father's entire cart on the pretext of a single fist, didn't you? Now this fist is mine." The dagger was sharp and Zaid's intention was firm. As soon as he pressed his hand, Qasim screamed and pleaded, "I swear to God, my son, take whatever you want, just let me go." Zaid said, "First, empty the cart you took from my father yesterday, and secondly, you will also have to give me a job in your house with a salary of 2,000 dirhams per month." Qasim had no choice left. To save his life, he folded his hands and said, "All right, as you wish, it will be done." Zaid put the dagger away and said, "If you betray your word or try to remove me from the job, remember I will cut off both your nose and ears." Qasim nodded in fear and agreed. He had Abdullah's cart emptied and also accepted the job conditions. Zaid returned to his village with both bullock carts. Abdullah, seeing his son from a distance, became overwhelmed with joy and ran to hug him. Zaid narrated the whole story and also told him about the job. The father said worriedly, "My son, that merchant is a vengeful man. Always be careful." Zaid smiled and said, "Father, if he is a lion, then I am an even stronger lion. Don't worry." The next morning, Zaid went to Qasim's house for work. Qasim thought to himself that he would tire him so much that he would eventually run away. He said, "Zaid, plow 2 fields and also bring firewood for the stove in the evening." Zaid quietly went towards the fields. He spent the whole day resting under a tree, and in the evening he cut 3 to 4 pieces of a thick log, made a bundle, and carried it on his head back home. After reaching home, he threw the bundle of wood down and quietly sat down to eat. Qasim said to his servant, "Give him just a handful of rice and a spoon of lentils. That is enough for him." Zaid thought that if he had to live here, he would have to survive on just a handful of rice. He silently ate the rice and went to sleep. He was made to sleep near the cows and bulls. At night, hunger did not let him sleep, so he quietly got up and went towards the cow. Zaid saw that a small calf was tied with a rope. He secretly untied the calf. The calf immediately started drinking its mother's milk. As soon as the cow let down the milk, Zaid tied the calf again and drank all the milk himself. After getting full, he slept peacefully. In the morning, when Qasim's wife went to milk the cow, the udders were completely empty.
She told Qasim about it.
When Qasim came and bent near the cow suddenly kicked him hard and he fell back. Zaid thought to himself, "If you make me sleep hungry, then this is how you will get kicked by the cow." And this became a daily routine. Every night, Zaid drank the milk and worked during the day. Instead of becoming weak, he looked even healthier and stronger. Qasim was surprised that this boy, who ate just a handful of rice, had become so strong. After a few days, Qasim's wife went to her parents' house and a whole month passed, but she did not return. Qasim became lonely and sad, and he decided to go himself to bring back his wife. Qasim said to Zaid,
Zaid,
"You have to come with me. We are going to bring back your mistress." They only had one horse, so Qasim rode it himself and told Zaid to walk on foot. Zaid understood that this was just a trick to get rid of him. After traveling some distance, Qasim became tired and lay down under a tree to rest. He said to Zaid, "Take care of the horse. I will just close my eyes for a while." Zaid replied, "Yes, sir, don't worry." After some time, some merchants passed by. Zaid secretly cut a small part of the horse's tail and kept it with him, then sold the horse to those merchants. After making the deal, Zaid sat near a bush and placed the cut tail on a hole, as if he was holding something inside it. After some time, Qasim woke up and saw that the horse was gone. He shouted angrily,
Zaid,
"Where is my horse?" Zaid replied innocently, "Sir, the horse went inside this hole. I am barely holding its tail. Please pull it with force too." As soon as Qasim pulled the tail, it came into his hand. Qasim shouted, "What kind of joke is this?" Zaid said, "Sir, you yourself said that if anything goes wrong, you would cut off my nose and ears. Now the tail is in my hand, and the horse has gone inside." Qasim had nothing left to say. Zaid said, "Sir, you yourself said that if anything went wrong, you would cut off my nose and ears. Now the tail is in my hand, and the horse has gone inside the hole." Qasim had nothing to say and was forced to continue on foot. On the way, he bought another black horse. During the stop, he said to Zaid, "Rub this horse well and wash it properly so that all the dirt comes off." Zaid sold that horse in the market and brought a white rabbit instead. When Qasim woke up, Zaid was sitting there holding the rabbit.
Qasim asked,
"Where is the horse?" Zaid replied, "Sir, you said to wash it by rubbing. I rubbed it so much that its black color came off and it shrank into this rabbit." Qasim gritted his teeth, but could not say anything because of the condition he had put himself in. Now both of them were forced to walk on foot, and Qasim was extremely weak with hunger. He said to Zaid,
Qasim said,
"Go and inform my in-laws that their son-in-law is coming, so they should arrange food." As soon as Zaid reached the in-law's house, he used his cleverness. He said to the mother-in-law, "Your son-in-law's health is very bad. He has a serious stomach problem, so only plain khichdi should be made for him and for me. Delicious kheer, pori, and halwa should be prepared." When they arrived there, Qasim was given only khichdi, while Zaid enjoyed the delicious dishes. Qasim became very angry, but stayed silent. At night, both of them slept on charpoys on the roof. Zaid fell asleep, but Qasim kept tossing and turning due to hunger. Finally, Qasim woke Zaid up and said, "Brother, I am dying of hunger." Zaid came up with a plan. There was a hole in the roof called a skylight. Zaid tied a rope around Qasim's waist and lowered him into the kitchen so he could eat his fill. Qasim went down and attacked the food, eating pori and halwa greedily. When he was full, he softly called out,
Zaid,
"Pull me back up now." But Zaid was fast asleep. Down below, Qasim kept shouting again and again,
pull, pull.
"Quickly pull." Qasim's mother-in-law came to drink water and heard the voices. She got scared, thinking a jinn had entered the kitchen. She woke everyone up, and they all stood at the door listening carefully. From inside, the voice from below was shouting,
Zaid,
"Are you trying to get me killed? Pull quickly." Just then Zaid woke up and quickly pulled Qasim back up. When the family opened the door, the kitchen was empty and everyone went back in confusion. But late at night, Qasim's stomach started cramping again. He woke Zaid and said he needed to go outside.
Zaid said,
"Sir, why go outside? There's a clay pot here, just use it and I will throw it away in the morning." Helpless, Qasim used the pot and went back to sleep. Early in the morning, he woke Zaid and told him to dispose of the pot quickly, otherwise his respect would be ruined. But Zaid was snoring deeply. Qasim made a final decision. He covered himself with a sheet, placed the pot on his head, and quietly went down the stairs. As soon as he reached the courtyard, he saw his father-in-law working there. He tried to avoid eye contact and moved towards the gate. Zaid was watching everything from the roof. He immediately shouted,
"Thief! Thief! Look!"
"He is running with a pot on his head." In the morning, people were already awake. Everyone ran out with sticks and batons and started beating Qasim, thinking he was a thief. Qasim kept shouting, "I am not a thief. I am Qasim," but no one listened. When the noise reached the house, the in-laws came out and removed the cloth. They saw their son-in-law sitting there, head bowed in shame, with that smelly clay pot on his head. The whole gathering burst into laughter, and Qasim was completely humiliated. His respect and pride were destroyed. His in-laws gave him fresh clothes and sent him off with his wife. When they reached home, Zaid quietly said, "Sir, the first stick that hit you was from me, and I was also the one shouting, 'Thief, thief.'" Qasim started crying and said, "Zaid, why did you do all this?" Zaid replied seriously, "Sir, I got the same piece of heart that you got after humiliating my simple father. This was revenge for your deceit." Qasim joined his hands and apologized, saying,
"Son."
"Now leave me alone."
Zaid said,
"Not like this. Promise me that from today you will never mock a poor person again and will never deceive anyone. Also give me my salary and an extra 500 dirhams." Qasim immediately gave everything, and he sincerely repented. Zaid took his money and carts and returned to his home. Qasim truly improved his life and never again hurt anyone's feelings. He who hurts the hearts of others' parents never finds peace in life.